Swiss chicken wings are a classic Cantonese dish, and obviously have precisely zero to do with the country of Switzerland. Sorry to disappoint. The names had a number of different urban legends attached to it, but unfortunately, the ultimate truth behind why Swiss seems to have been lost to history. What we do know is where they originated. They came from an old restaurant in Guangzhou called Tai Ping Koon, or the Pacific House. In 1860, the Pacific House was the very first Western restaurant to open in Guangzhou, and over the years developed a signature style of Canto Western cuisine, now referred to as soy sauce Western. Among the older generations in Guangzhou, Tai Ping Koon is a cultural institution. Famously, it was even the place where Zhou Enlai had his wedding reception. These days, Tai Ping Koon functions sort of as like a minor tourist attraction. People can come, order the same set meal that they served at Zhou Enlai's wedding, or perhaps munch instead on their iconic Swiss chicken wings. Now, sometime in the mid-20th century, the dish made the jump over to Hong Kong, where it became a mainstay at Ting, Hong Kong's own Canto Western tradition. So these days, you can find those Swiss wings next to stuff like the cheesy seafood rice or the black pepper beef. And in the context of home kitchens, it's become a modern classic of sorts for many Cantonese home cooks. And so while I've always liked Swiss wings, I actually wasn't really hooked until I tried that original version at the Tai Ping Koon restaurant. Their sauce had this sort of deep caramelized flavor that was unmistakably reminiscent of a Western-style roasted stock. And so thus began our borderline obsessive search for figuring out how exactly Tai Ping Koon pulled that off. So, after researching, we found that their wings do indeed use a stock base, and luckily, Steph was able to track down one interview of a Tai Ping Koon chef where he gave away the broad strokes of how they made it. And so while we did have to fill in a couple gaps here with a bit of educated guesswork, the end result landed quite close, flavor-wise, to what you find at Tai Ping Koon. So right, history aside, the first choice you'll have to make here is what kind of stock base you want to use. Option 1 is homemade, based off the recipe given by that aforementioned chef. But honestly, because Swiss wings are such a home cooking classic these days, just in case you don't feel like making an all-day stock, we also decided to test a recipe using a bit of box stock instead. Here we just used a bit of Swanson's, but honestly, if you happen to have some Western-style roast chicken stock, that'd be even better. But either way, just in case you do feel like going that extra mile, let's just show you how to sort that Tai Ping Koon stock base real quick, which fascinatingly doesn't roast meat to get its deep mayorty flavor, but rather stir-fries it. Now, unlike most Western stocks, this guy is a compound stock, which means we'll be using a combination of chicken and pork. So first, swirl in a bit of peanut oil, and with the flame on high, toss in a half a chicken cut into pieces, or about 500 grams worth. Then just fry that for about 5 or 6 minutes or so, or until the chicken pieces start to aggressively brown, like so. Now just take that out and go in with an equal amount of pork bones, and we decided to also toss in a quarter kilo of chicken feet for that extra hit of gelatin. Fry all those till they're good and browned, and take them out. Next up, swap the flame to medium and go in with a half an onion, cut into about 1.5 chunks, and fry that for a minute or so till softened. Then toss in 1 carrot also chopped into 1.5 chunks, and fry for 1 minute more. Then go in with 1 small bunch of Chinese celery cut into 2-inch pieces, together with 1.5 inches of smashed ginger, and feel free to swap that Chinese celery for a stalk of Western celery instead, if needed. Fry all that for about a minute or so till fragrant, then toss in a quarter cup of liaojiu, a.k.a. Shaoxing wine, and scrape a bit of the fond off the wok like you would in the Western manner. Then just add back in your meat pieces, fill it all up with water so that the meat's totally submerged, and let that simmer over a low flame for at least 8 hours. So, 8 hours later, shut off the heat and remove those meat pieces. Definitely don't waste your meat here though. Save it. This stuff is great reheated and eaten alongside a bit of soy sauce for dipping as a quick and easy protein component for dinner. So then just strain your stock and toss it in the fridge. Then the next day, just scoop off that layer of fat on top to degrease, and this stuff is good to go. So right, to reiterate, all of that there was optional. You can use that, or a box stock like we're using here now, or your favorite homemade roast chicken stock, all totally cool. No matter what though, just toss in 750 ml of stock into a pot together with a half a cinnamon stick, 4 dried bay leaves, 2 star anise, and 1 Chinese black cardamom pod, and just skip that guy if you can't find it. Then over a medium flame, bring that all up to a heavy simmer. Let that simmer away for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until your stock's reduced by about half. Then just remove those spices, and you've got yourself some now spiced concentrated stock. Now, to a saucepan, toss in your stock which should be about 375 milliliters at this point, together with 6 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 6 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 6 tablespoons of Taiwan thick soy sauce, and if you can't find that thick soy sauce, just swap it for an equal amount of light soy. Now toss in 100 grams of either slab sugar or dark brown sugar, and let that dissolve. And then with that, you've got yourself some Swiss sauce, which, kind of like a lo shui master stock, is what we'll be cooking our wings in. Before we get to that though, we'll be giving our wings a quick blanch in boiling water. We're going in with 10 wings today. This pre-blanch is going to help make our wings a bit more plump in the end. So just blanch those for about 2 minutes, remove, rinse under some cool water, and then toss in an ice bath, leaving them to soak there for at least 5 minutes. Now, back to the Swiss sauce. Just bring your sauce up to a boil, then toss in your now blanched wings. Leave them boiling in the sauce for about 1 minute, then shut off the heat and cover. Leave those soaking there in the hot water for a half an hour, then flip your wings. These will need at least another half hour to soak, but there's honestly not too much of an upper limit here. The longer they soak, the more delicious they'll be, and we personally often like these best the following day. But regardless, after your soak length of choice, take out your wings and it's time for the final step, frying the wings in the sauce. Now, this stuff gets very sticky, so we recommend a non-stick for this. Just toss in your wings, ladle in about a quarter cup of your Swiss sauce, and swap the flame to medium-low. Cook the wings in the sauce for about 5 minutes, or until the sauce cooks down into a thick syrupy consistency, like so. Remove the wings, drizzle over a bit of the sauce, and with that, your Swiss wings are done, as close as we could possibly get them to Tai Ping Koon in Guangzhou.
So growing up, when I think about Western food, I think about this. I still get excited. Nowadays, even I come here, I feel like a kid. I want the ice creams, I want the steaks, I want the chicken wings. I know this is not Western food, but it definitely has its place and brings back fond memories. So check out the red link in the description box for a detailed recipe. A big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon. And of course, subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.